to be the team leader for this team here at West Suffolk College. But just before we get started on the individual presentations, just a bit of kind of housekeeping. We don't want any kind of disruption, so you can put your mobile phones on silent, just for case you have any. If there is an emergency or a fire, you can follow staff with West Suffolk College badges to the central green. Fingers crossed, it's going to be okay. And if you haven't been to them already, there are toilets just out of here, and just go directly straight over. Okay. So, like I said, we're here to kind of find out what these young people have been up to over the last 12 weeks, and obviously you've been to the exhibition in 2025. Now is the time to confirm their individual thoughts and feelings about their experiences over the last 12 weeks. So, as you can see from your programmes, we have a running order of each kind of learner who's been very fortunate to be on the course, along with a video highlighting the team's efforts over the last 12 weeks, and we've got a few prizes to give out. We've got the prize to go out for mock interviews, which you'll find out about, and also the PRS prize, and PRS stands for Positive Reward System. With this course, we try to enforce positive behaviour and outcomes, so with that I'll explain more as we get to that prize. And then the grand finale, once we've had these individual speeches, we will be kind of highlighting a few final words from staff and Prince's Trust representatives here today, and then just kind of confirm the achievements with the certificates at the end. So that's what we've got planned for this afternoon. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Joe Phillips, who's the first team member who's going to confirm to you his individual experience. So put your hands together for Joe.
Afternoon everyone. Hello, my name is Joe Phillips. I'm from Haverhill in Suffolk. I joined the Prince's Trust team because it gave me an opportunity to work for 12 weeks in a team with strangers. It gave me a chance to develop my communication skills, socialising and working with them. From day one, when I walked into the team room, my first thoughts were, will I get on with the other team members? But at the same time, I was excited to learn and progress in the course. The best thing about the course was going away on residential, developing new skills and stretching my comfort zone by taking on challenges I wouldn't normally do. The most frustrating thing about being on the course was when people started to fall out and arguments started to occur. That all came up rather quickly, but that all stopped rather quickly as well. The greatest moment for me on the programme was meeting new people and forming a good bond with them to become good friends and also a good team. I now plan to progress onto a painting and decorating course at West Suffolk College in September.
Hello, my name is Joshua and I'm from Suffolk. I joined the Prince's Trust because I wanted to kick in the right direction to get better qualification in a job. When I walked into the classroom, my first thoughts were, here we go, back at school again. As time progressed, I realised it was nothing like school, and I have really enjoyed it. The best thing about the programme was being the residential. It was a good week away and there were lots of new activities to try. The most frustrating things about the course has been the planning and the time it's taken to do really simple tasks such as planning for activities for our team challenge. The greatest moments for me whilst on the programme has been making new friends and realising I have opened new doors and opportunities in my life. If I could start the programme again, I would come in with a more positive attitude and more open-minded about things. I now plan to work experience with Haverhill Housing, which I hope will lead into full-time employment.
Hello, my name is Dan Thwaites. I joined the Prince's Trust because I was really struggling with employment and opportunities in life. Didn't really have a lot going for me. So I needed something to give me a kick in the right direction. Through the whole duration of the course, it's had a bit of ups and downs. Yeah, but we got through it in the end. There's been a lot of frustrations with bickering and a lot of people giving negative feedback, but we have actually really pulled together at some points and really achieved and not really taken a lot of the positive away, but it's a little more negative. But we have actually done a lot over the last 12 weeks between us. We should all, be quite proud of ourselves, really. For me, next is full-time job, and I hope you just get on with life, really, and good luck to all of you. Hope you get a opportunity over.
Hello, my name is Bradley Batfield. I'm from Thetford in Norfolk. I joined the trust team because I wanted to get more qualifications, build communication, confidence and coping skills to help me get further and do some job. On day one, I walked into the team room and the first thoughts were, am I going to get through the course and get on with the rest of the team? The best thing about the program was the residential week away, because there were so many things we had done, like climb wall, archery, up and over challenge and rafting. The most frustrating thing about the course is when we were getting to the end of the course, there was a lot of work to do and we had this presentation going up. Canoeing was the most annoying part of it all. Of course, the group members that were on the canoe with me, we couldn't steer in the right direction, so it got frustrating for us all. The greatest moment for me was on the program, was the residential week away, because I was on the climbing wall because of my height issues. This is not really the height. I climbed more than I ever done. What I achieved was I climbed the wall with a sore foot, but I still got to the top and never gave up. If I could start the program over again, things would be different now. There's much activities possible and not just aim. I now plan to progress into a level 4 fun at level 1.
Come again, put the light us up again. Yeah. To the people and all the children of the world, if you can see it, it's not that far away. Before you can reach it, you must endure the pain. Real talk, you can touch the sky. Ain't no doubt about it, no. Real talk, you can sit behind. Ain't no doubt about it, no. Real talk, we do it for the youth. Another generation. Yeah, you're strong enough to meet your destination. Nothing is impossible. No one can hold us down. We are unstoppable. 'Cause nothing is impossible. No, nothing is impossible. If the door doesn't open, don't wait. Use force to knock it down. Ain't no time for moping. No, the moment is right now. Yeah. Real talk, you can touch the sky. Ain't no doubt about it, no. Real talk, you can sit behind. Ain't none about it, no. Real talk, we do it for the youth. Another generation, another generation. You are strong enough to meet your destiny. Hey, nothing is impossible. You can do anything. No one can hold us down. No one can stop us. Yeah, we are unstoppable. Yeah, 'cause nothing is impossible. No, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Oh no. Oh no. Sweet were the memories, the songs and the symphonies that we had yesterday. Oh, free, free were these city roads that now feel so overgrown and hard to escape. Deep beyond the surface lies an eminence that never died. Before so unjustified, still you carry on. You're a soldier, oh, you're a fighter. Don't go and waste another day. Just take what comes your way. Oh, if you know what you want to feel, how you want to feel it. If you know what you want to say, oh, I wanna hear you say it. If you know where you want to go, how far you want to take it. 'Cause no matter what mistakes you make, these are your redemption days. Shorty no joking, and I'm hoping, I'm not slowing, gotta just keep on rolling, I'm joking, boy moving fast, and I'm hoping, praying I don't crash, all I know is I'm not slowing, gotta just keep on rolling, gotta keep at it, gotta stay focused.
Yeah, thank and assure the team really appreciate that we've putting the time to get that done. Not a lot of time on the course, it's very active and yeah, I think Luke took time in his own time basically to make that video, so many thanks for that. So we'll continue with the individual speeches and the next team member from Team 16 is Jenny.
Hi, my name is Jenny Owen. I am from Bury. I joined this first team because I got advised to and I got told it was really good. I was surprised I got accepted, but I was really happy about it. I also wanted to learn new skills and gain my confidence. On day one, when I was in the team room, my first thought was, oh gosh, I wasn't really confident and I didn't know how I would cope with all the confident people around me as I was quite quiet. But in the end, we got all of that. The best things about the programme for me were the team building activities. My favourite one was the suitcase, and I thought that activities brought the team together. The most frustrating thing about the course was the debating and the disagreement. We kept going round and round, we couldn't solve anything, although in the end we got there. The greatest moment for me whilst in the programme was going to Lambourne and going for the residential. That's how I got to know the team and their qualities. Being at Lambourne End helped me to see what I am capable to do. I saw myself do things I thought I'd never do. If I could start the programme again, I would be more open and I would have spoken more, then I would think my confidence would be better. I found out to find a job was also an apprenticeship. Thanks for listening.
my first thoughts were, what have I signed up for? I was apprehensive about starting something new that I'd never done before, and I also remember thinking, these people aren't like me. They're not the sort of people that I would get on with, but in actual fact, they're a really nice bunch of people. I joined the Prince's Trust because I wanted to gain more qualifications in preparation for eventually getting a job and meeting new people and seeing how tough I really am, which isn't very much. The best thing about the programme was going on residential, which taught me a lot about myself, such as what I could do and what I couldn't do. Sorry. I'll try my one same as I was kind of feeling. Alright, Jodie. Hello. Best things about the programme were going on residential, which taught me a lot about myself, such as what I could and couldn't do in each activity, but I tried my best at everything that was thrown at me within a week. Also, it taught me that I needed to toughen up when it came to things like height. The most frustrating thing about the course was having to get up early from Monday to Friday, doing the folder work, the constant arguing and debating within the team on a daily basis, which really wore us down. Also, all the whining that I have done, which must have frustrated the whole team, and they must have wanted to bang my head against the wall. The greatest moment on the programme was residential when I got across the road course with assisted help from staff and team members. If I could start the programme again, the things I would do differently are having more self-belief, going on the residential and not being scared of doing any of the activities and keeping quiet. I know I haven't been the easiest person to get along with on the occasions, and I often think many of the team members would like to bang my head against several walls. I plan to have 3 weeks off to have a rest, get ready for my new childcare course in September. But before I finish, I would also like to thank Rob, Ola and all the team for the constant support that they have given me throughout the programme. I don't know how they put up with me as I'm very hard work at times. Thank you for listening.
I joined the Prince's Trust team programme because I heard it was a good course where you learn new skills and it seemed like it would be a good laugh at the time with others. On the first day when I walked into the team room, my first thoughts were, oh my god, I made it. I was so nervous but excited at the same time. I was looking forward to all the activities we were going to be doing in the next 12 weeks. The best things about the programme were going to residential. I enjoyed all the activities like rock climbing and jumping in a freezing cold pool after bath building. I even did my own, which included eating paprika. The very best thing was working at a mud school and doing a car wash, on both occasions I got drenched. The most frustrating part for me whilst on the programme was all the planning and arguments we had for fundraising to do our community project in Haverhill, but we got through it eventually. The greatest moment for me whilst on the programme was all the energisers and team building activities, which include getting close and personal. If I could start the programme over again, the things I would do differently, I'd stay on residential longer, the only way in Essex. I now plan to start the camp in September, and just before I finish, I'd like to thank Ola, Lisa and Rob for all their help and support.
Hello, my name is Cam Flynn. I'm from Fordham in Suffolk. I joined the Prince's Trust team programme because I wanted to build my confidence and teamwork skills. Another reason I joined the programme was because I had prior experience in fundraising and working with others. On day one, when I walked into the team room, my first thoughts were about what we were set to achieve on the course and how much of a laugh the residential was going to be. I also thought other challenges on the residential were going to push us out of our comfort zones, both mentally and physically. The best things about the course for me were our residential The fact that I was working with others, making new friends, building my confidence, and last but not least, the community project. The most frustrating part of the course for me was when nobody would listen to my say during the ladder game, even though I'd experienced with the activity and knew exactly what to do. The greatest moment for me whilst on the programme was on the residential when I climbed the highest wall on only one colour of stones in the rock climbing activity. If I could start the programme over again, the things I would do differently are not shout out, be more respectful and kind, not swear as much, and also turn up on time and coming back from the break. I now plan to move on to further education at West Suffolk College. I've applied for a music course and I'm also looking to get a part-time job. Thank you.
Right then, so we've come to the first of our prizes. We'll see for your programs that the first prize is for the mock interview. During Next Steps, which is week 9, each candidate, shall we say, has an opportunity to kind of prepare for a mock interview for our job board, taking an activity sheet and preparing some answers. It is about kind of planning, doing kind of reviewing their performance, and then making it as realistic as possible. They are kind of interviewed by somebody that they don't know, so it's about the unknown, where we a bit nervous and trying to make it as realistic as possible. And for each kind of question that is answered, they are given a score out of 5 for that each kind of question that they answer. And we kind of highlighted that the prize was for the person who scored the top points. Again, trying to put a bit of realism there and a bit of incentive to do well on the mock interview. So, the winner, hopefully this is another great moment, this young man, is, put your hands together for Cam Flynn, please. Put you on the spot now. That's your award, your prize. How do you feel about winning your mock interview?
I feel proud that I was able to go in there and do it and have confidence in doing something I wouldn't usually do that I like doing about it, because I went in there at first I was quite anxious about doing it, but I spoke to the lady first and I told her that I was worried about doing it. She said let's give it the best and managed to win. So.
Here, I will introduce you to Egbert, who's going to read her individual speech. Put your hands together, please.
Hello, my name is Agna Gurskita. I'm from Cleveland, Lithuania. I lived in the UK for about 6 or 7 years now. I went to City College, Norwich, and my old school was Rosenau Musker High School in Thetford. I joined the Apprentice Trust team because I did something similar, and I liked it so much that I wanted to do this again and learn more about team challenges and face more challenges. I want to get something more out of my life than sit at home and be on my computer all day. On day 1 when I walked into the team room, my first thought were people will make fun of me because of my name or where I'm from. I was a little scared because of what happened in my school and college and what people said to me was hurting me and making me upset. But when I got to know people, I got confidence, and now I can help people because I was like that once. The best thing about the program was when we went to the residential for a week. I loved every day, but the best day was when we had a barbecue and a campfire and talked about everything. That was the last and the most fun day of the week for me. I have been on a residential before, but not for a week. It was a challenge for me not to see my family for a week, but it was a good experience. The most frustrating thing about the course was when people were shouting their answers and not listening to what people had to say. The hard work was when people are different, they are not doing what we ask, and I was shocked about it. But that's what happens when you work as a team. You have your mindset lost because no one's perfect. The greatest moment for me whilst on the program was when I met new people and made myself new challenges, and I've done them. I feel more confident of getting a job or getting what I want to do in my life, and I needed this course. If I didn't come to this program, I would have been at home and not doing nothing for my future, but now I know what I want to do and I'm going to do that. If I could start the program over again, one thing that I would do different, I'm more confident in people and don't judge book by its cover. Be more helpful to people and don't get stressed out for tiny things that happen. Now I plan to go back to college and start ICT level 2. At the end of this year, I'm going to have the job of doing gaming testing. That's what I want to do because I like playing video games and being on a computer. I'm confident of doing my dream job and I want to do that in the future.
Hi, my name is Kate from Newmarket. I joined the Princess Trust team because I needed to gain more confidence meeting new people and also gain more confidence in myself whilst completing tasks and challenges. Another reason I joined the course was that I never used to work well in a team and was always distancing myself when it came to the situation. But as everyone knows, there comes a time in life when you have to work in a team and on our own. On day one, when I walked into the team room, my first thoughts weren't good. I looked at the others in the room and I instantly thought that I wouldn't get on with anyone in this course at all. None of them dressed like me, spoke like me, or even seemed anything like me. Not once during that first day did I think I was going to complete the course. The best things about this program with the residential is that it's getting to know people and not just judging them by their appearance. Residential had to be one of the hardest parts of the course, but as everyone in the team had to push themselves to the limit and come out of their comfort zones in order to complete the tasks and challenges that were set. Getting to know the people was also really good. I came to realise that my first thoughts of them were completely wrong and they were in fact a lovely bunch of people. The most frustrating aspect of this course has been the constant arguing and bickering amongst the whole group day in and day out. Whilst in the residential we all learned how the team operated and came together, but when we came back to college and needed to work in a team, it appeared that everyone had forgotten what they had learned, meaning that things either took twice as long or weren't completed. The greatest moment for me was when the programme was playing caving on the residential at Lambourne End. It's hard enough for me to sit in a classroom with a lot of people, never mind in a metre round 2-mile tunnel filled with dirty water and spiders. Both before and during this event, I said many times that I couldn't do it and I wanted to leave, but with the encouragement of my team, I managed to complete the task along with the other members. If I could start the programme again, the things I'd do differently would be coming into college every day, as not to fall behind with folder work, and I would also complete my work experience for full 10 days. Due to the fact that as I didn't, I now have to find myself another placement. I now plan to either find a full-time job and start earning money or decide what I want a career in and apply for a full-time course.
Joined the Princess Trust team programme, so what to learn new skills, meet new people, and gain qualifications. On day one of the course, I walked in, I was really scared. The best things about the course is done in residential and car wash, the fundraising. The most frustrating thing about the course is travelling to college every day. Best moment on the course was on residential, going canoeing, because it was chilled out. At the start of the course again, things I'll do definitely be getting involved in more discussions. Now I plan to do work experience, so do it before the work.
Hello, my name is Scott Lindsay. I'm 20 years old and have lived in Bury independently for around 2 years now. Before that, I completed 3 A-levels in the Open University ES course while living in the Candle Foyer in Hostel and Havenhill. I first heard about the Princess Trust course a few years ago by Michelle Haynes, who worked with what was once Connections. She had worked with one of the previous teams who recommended it to me. I finally decided to try and see if the course could help me a few months ago, and I finally realised I really did need some support. I had very little confidence around new people unless I was intoxicated and had no belief in my own abilities, which was holding me back from achieving my ambitions at university and eventually going into teaching. I had terrible coping skills and regularly allowed drinking, which was simply doing nothing during aspects of my life. My support worker would always describe my way of dealing with anything else as ostracism. I would bury my head in the sand and hope it would go away. As much as I'm sure we'd all want it to, not even bills will disappear if you don't open your posts. This in hindsight, I can see must have been very incredibly frustrating for anyone who tried to help me.
On my first day of the course, if I'm being very honest, I thought, what on earth am I doing here? I had A-levels, I'd worked, I'd volunteered, and yet what am I still doing needing support getting my life back on track? However, how shy I was when I began the course, how hard I found it to be on time, to not go out and get inebriated instead of turning up, prove to myself it's time to stop pretending I'm better than anyone else. Just because I've got a few pieces of paper that said skill was A-levels doesn't mean I've got all the skills mastered that would even make me able to help with anything in life. If I don't have the motivation, the confidence or the reliability to use the grades, they're nothing but letters to fill up a CV. It's probably not hard to believe, I'm not sure, but a lot of people assume this is an easy course. 12 weeks, a bit of folder work, a bit of teamwork, can't be grueling work, surely. But that wasn't the case. Sure, the folder work was a walk in the park for me, but that doesn't mean it was for everyone. Throwing around 18 young people who all need support with various aspects of their life together, and telling them to work as a team is always going to be hard. The arguments, differences of opinions, and the amount of times we were doing tasks that were out of our comfort zones make the course possibly even harder than offline university. You often find in a team, if one person gives up, doesn't want to try as hard or even at all, that mood will spread around the group as contagiously as a yawn. That was possibly one of the hardest things to deal with. It was frustrating when a handful put an incredible amount of effort in, then that toxic mood would spread through the team like a bad fly. At times it seemed impossible we could achieve anything at all. We all did achieve though, despite every obstacle we encountered. Right from us all not being much more than strangers in the residential to knowing each other's bad habits like our own on the team challenge last week, we achieved. I'm personally petrified of heights, but with the support of others, I've climbed further up the climbing wall than I'd ever thought I'd be able to. On every single one of the team reviews, I learned that the skills I never realised that I had when it came to caring for others, encouraging those who need it, and giving everyone the same unbiased opportunity to prove themselves as a person, a friend, or their talents are skills that I should be proud of. I shouldn't forget them, and I should use them to my advantage if they can be used to diffuse a situation, or even lead a group to achieve something as good as it was, being the first Princess Trust team this college has had to organise and host a fundraising market stall on the actual road to Edmonds Market. The market stall reviews, which Kate likes to describe as being boosting my ego, were only two of the highlights in the course. My work placement was extremely successful. The first week was spent with very free press. Here I sat in the press box of the Magistrates School. I interviewed cover stars at a press release at the Leisure Centre and was also given the opportunity to prove my skills before even being a qualified journalist. I wrote 6 pieces that were published in the 29th of June edition of the Very Free Press, including a lead piece that included my name and a byline. The second week I spent at a local community radio station in Zac FM. Here I recorded my own news clipping after mentioning a potential career in journalism. I also spent a few hours with a DJ on a live show I was offered a place on a broadcast radio course I held recently. It's all only small, but all of this is proving to myself that I really do have the ability to get anywhere I want to in life if I just put myself out there. As a group and individually, we have each come on a journey through these past 12 weeks. Even if some of us don't realise straight away what it is we've actually learned, it will hit us at some point. It was only on the final day of our team challenge last week that I figured out it was okay for plans to not work out. You've just got to take what worked and what didn't for future reference. We spent a day at Scope working with disabled children and 2 days at Martins with the elderly. Every single member of our team, including me, was not a perfect team player throughout that. In fact, as a whole, we were close to appalling when we take into account attendance, time, preparation and effort. Despite all of these downfalls, we still achieved in some way. At Scope, the best feeling in the world, an indescribable feeling, sitting with a young boy called Sam making a collage with him. And if it were even possible, an even better feeling came over me every time I made a wheelchair-bound boy called Lewis laugh. As soon as this 17-year-old boy, who couldn't walk, talk, or even feed himself, laughed, all I could think about was why do I ever let myself get so unhappy? Why do we all struggle just to plan and do something without moaning or finding excuses to not just make the most of it, when the reality is we're just lucky that we can? It was at Martins that the lack of preparation really showed. At Scope we had talks on cerebral palsy and were provided with case studies by each of the children we had contact with. But at Martins, not one of us seemed to be comfortable with or even know an inkling about old age illness or how to interact with the sufferers. Despite this, there were still good aspects to our time there. One lady called Vera had us all in stitches with almost every one of her comments, and another one asked me to come back and show her a piece of cross-stitching I completed with my own hand. Instead of focusing on the negatives, as I always have done, and it's always held me back, I realised I'd just taken this course both how not to deal with things by being unprepared, and also to reuse all of the skills that I found at work. I began this course feeling as though my life was stuck in a rut and worried that I would continue to procrastinate the step to university, always finding excuses and reasons that would keep me off-stitching. Now I'm throwing myself in the deep end. I've applied for clearing. I'm moving in September. I know I'll be studying English, but where? I'll find out a few weeks, and we'll just have to hope that the experience I've had planning fundraising, market stalls, community projects and team challenges will help with the hectic next few months where I already know I'll be scrambling for somewhere to live, well, somewhere. The course has been harsh, fun, stressful and insightful. I've made new friends and I've wanted to bash numerous heads together. But I've done it now. I believe in myself. Now there's qualities I didn't even recognise I had 12 weeks ago. I'm also stood here, so improvement in my confidence should speak for itself, but most importantly, I'm out of my rut.
And I hope to continue my work, which I've offered a full placement of the work experience, and hopefully to own my own business in the future.
Well, Team 16, well done, congratulations.